Okay, guys, check this out. We have a really old school Wacker plate compactor here, and the customer just bought it. He said he put gas in it, ran it for a minute, and then turned it off, and he couldn't get it running again. Now, I have a feeling that I'm going to be able to get this running again, but I did have some bad news for the customer. I asked him what kind of gas he put in it. He said, I just put straight gas from the pump, which is fine. You know, there's people out there that say, oh, ethanol is bad, whatever. That's not the problem. The problem is that this is a two-stroke. And he put straight gas in there and ran it. And I don't know if he ran it enough to blow it up, but the carburetor is flooding. I can feel compression. I don't want to try to start it with the straight gas in there. So I need to evacuate this gas. We're going to take off this carburetor. We're going to clean it all up and hopefully get this thing running. I have a feeling it should be fine, but we're going to do that right now. So stay with me. If you have an old school or you guys are just interested in seeing this, it's going to be cool because I have to be super delicate with this because I don't have any parts and the guy needs it quick. So see if we can get this running. I got a bunch of cats running around in here. I'm going to start by removing the carburetor because, like I said, it's flooding a little bit. And I was thinking I'd have to take this bolt off and this bolt off, but I'm honestly thinking that it's just held on by this clip here. So if we just loosen this clip, which looks like an 8mm or a flathead, we should be able to just pry this carburetor off. And seeing how even though the gas is off and it's still flooding, I might need to clean that petcock too. But we will see. That's on there pretty good. So I don't know if it's the clip or not. I don't work on a lot of these old engines here. Well, let me put you down at a good angle here. It's either that or this thing is stuck on there really good. Nope, it's coming out. Okay. It's on there really good. Yep, full of gas. So let me get my needle nose pliers here. And from here, we'll take off this fuel line, which I'm going to change because this thing is old. Let's see. Okay, like I said, we got to get this gas out because that gas is straight and it's supposed to be two-stroke. So let's get you up here next to the ultrasonic cleaner. We might use it, we might not. But let's get an angle and get this thing cleaned up. Okay. So we're going to remove this filter here. And this is just a friction filter. So you just pull that off. That's a real old school mechanical filter. There's no foam. And I mean, that's not going to collect a lot of fine dust, but it worked back in the day for what it needed to do. Now from here, I'm just inspecting it to see exactly what I'm going to do here. And it looked like the carburetor went on like this. So this is the throttle, which seems to be opening and closing fine. There's another gas filter in here. So let's remove that first. And like I said, we're going to be real delicate with all the parts. I'm just hoping the straight gas didn't mess up any gaskets too bad. That's the problem. When you get a machine, you got to 100% kind of study it before you even turn it on. Google it if you have to. Watch a YouTube video just to make sure you don't accidentally destroy a thing you just bought. And especially on the Facebook Marketplace or whatever, there's no refunds. There's no guarantees. And I'm pretty sure the guy doesn't have time to sit there. Here's your high and low adjustments. You know what? We'll leave those alone for now. Like I said, if this guy wasn't in a hurry, I'd probably just order a new carburetor, which I could probably find, or just a rebuild kit. And if I do find them post-edit, I'll have links in the description if you guys are working on this thing. Most of the time, you're just going to buy a new compactor. This is more of a old school collector's item, I would say, rather than an actual tool. But it's going to get the job done still. The guy's going to be able to whack and pack when I'm done with it. And I decided that I am going to use the ultrasonic cleaner here. So we'll be throwing this carburetor in there and letting it clean. Okay, diaphragm is pumping. So now this is the part where I want to be really careful because the thing is original and I do not want to rip it at all. That's like playing Operation as a kid. Don't touch the sides. See, it's these little stick-up parts that I got to worry about. There we go, baby. Nice and gentle. No sign of aggression. There we go. Let's put that over there. Now from here, I can get in here. One of my lights just turned off because it's a motion-based light. This is the needle, just like your basic box carburetors. There we go. Got a little bit of gunk buildup here. I don't know if that's from gasket maker or what that is. We can leave this clip on. And I think now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw the carburetor in there like this. Give it a good cleaning. So I'm going to get that plugged in. And we're going to get it in there. Okay, so we're going to let this thing cook in here. And while we do that, we're actually going to get this gas out. Now you can just open the petcock, let it drain out. But I got that fancy pump over there. So I'm going to put that in there. So in about 30 minutes, still leaking a little bit. So I might just mess with it a little bit to see. I want to see if I have any new fuel line because that thing, it shouldn't be like that, like rigid like that. So yeah, let's let this thing cook and we'll come back to this whole machine and I'm thinking it should be fine. Now that I have everything off, I might take off the spark plug and just pull it a few times, put some PB blaster in there just to oil it up from the straight gas. And I'll probably, let's put that on camera. Let's go ahead and do that right now. Okay, we're draining the gas into a Pyrex dish. Just because it's such a small gas tank, I don't need to bust out the gas pump or whatever. So let's look. The spark plug does have some wetness to it. That's just because it was flooded. And it's flooded with this non-oily gas. So we're going to put this aside. And I don't have the cleaner going just yet because it's warming up. But now from here we can spray some PB blaster in there. Okay, so I got the PB blaster. And I got some fuel line too. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to coat this in here. And I'm not going to move it just yet. I'm going to let that soak and penetrate in there. Because I'm going to let the carburetor clean. So now that we got all that done, we'll come back in just a minute when the carburetor's done. Okay, the carburetor is 100% clean now. So now I just need to put that back together. And for those of you that didn't know and was wondering about this on the bottom, this is a primer. So when you push that, it pumps that diaphragm, forcing gas. So that's a primer. So now, well, you can see too that this dried off a little bit. Has a little dirt on it, not a big deal. But like I said, we're going to change the fuel line on this. And I'm going to go ahead and take off that petcock and clean it up a bit. See if we can get it to stop leaking gas. Okay, let's go ahead and remove this bad boy. Let's take off this fuel line first. Yeah, it just ripped off. That's fine. Not a big deal. I'm changing it anyways. Okay, look at that. That's just from sitting over the years. Now that we got it loose, you know what? I think we can turn it like that. There we go. Oh, look at that gunk. Look at that gunk. I don't even know what any of that is. But I'm going to spray this off, clean it. And, yeah, I'm just going to spray it with carburetor cleaner and stuff. We could even throw it in the ultrasonic cleaner, but I already put it up. So we'll just spray it off. Well, let me get the carburetor put back together. We still have the PV blaster soaking in there. So once we get it all said and done, I'll get you back over here. We'll put it back together and see if she fires. Okay, well, it didn't record anything I just did. I put the carburetor on this orientation. I was saying that it has German text on there, off and zoo. Same thing on the petcock, which I put back on, put the fuel line on. I just had this thing running a second ago. I'm going to run it again, but my problem is that this choke is actually vibrating to close, and I'm trying to figure out how to fix that. But let me show you it running, because I guess it was on video picture mode. Okay, so let's run this thing now so I can show you at least running. And there's a kill switch right down here. They were just choking it out. So it does run. Took me a few pulls. I wish you guys would have seen that authentic. But it is what it is. I made it a camera mistake. Let's see if we can somehow tighten this. The customer might either need to, for now, just put a spring on it, holding it this way open, which I'll talk to him when it gets there. But good news is the PV blaster, I think, saved the engine a little bit, soaked in. It runs fine. It's running fine other than that, this loose thing. But I'd have to say this thing is saved. It's working. So I was able to successfully clean the carburetor. It's not flooding anymore. And I'm actually happy with this work. So as always, you know what to do. All that good stuff. Like, share, hit that subscribe button. I'm so close to 10K. So I'd hope to have 10K before June when I go to VidCon. But yeah, more videos to come. So yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Have a good day.